How's it going, everyone? Happy Thursday. Nick Marro here with DFS Jayhawk and Occupy Fantasy. As always, helping you break down tonight's NBA DFS main slates on both DraftKings and FanDuel. It's the last slate before the All-Star break, so either proceed with caution or fire away. Just 3 games tonight to break down. Slate does lock at 7:30 Eastern time. We're here at the same time as always, though. Jayhawk, what are your initial takes going into this one?
Yeah, man. One last slate here before the break here. So very interesting slate. Lots to talk about. Excited to break this one down.
Yeah, man. Still plenty of money to be had. Contests are decent size tonight. Shouts out Benjamin here. Appreciate you, Ben, being here as always. Finch, hello. Heath, Cards. Pulling you guys all up. We got time today. 3-gamer. Should be able to get to every comment as long as it's relevant. Just Fistel, appreciate you, my man. Jose, as always. Yeah, like and subscribe, guys. So you know when the break is over, and we'll be back as soon as that is the case. But let's dig into things here, man. We got plenty of time, but it's game by game. Let's hit the ground running. We got Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder in OKC. Lowest total on the slate by 20 points, 213.5 point total here between Milwaukee and OKC. OKC are favored at home, even though they're missing some key pieces. The Bucks are missing some key pieces as well. No Giannis or his brother Alex. I always say that. It's just funny. Their names are both on the injury report. Cruz was questionable. Rollins is questionable. Obviously, those two are significant. And no Taurean Prince. So going into the break, I think tonight, when guys are questionable, it could go one of two ways. It's like, let's just rest. We have the break now. Or, the break's tomorrow. Might as well give it a go because we got plenty of rest coming up. So I don't really think we can know who's going to be out, obviously, until we have this stuff confirmed. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping these guys are out because my boy Cam Thomas yesterday, and it sucks as a Nets fan, with 25 minutes, 42 fantasy points, absolutely went off. They beat the Orlando Magic. Giannis was smiling. I mean, I love Cam Thomas, man. You know me. Absolute bucket. His time with the Nets, very devastating. And I wouldn't be going on the soliloquy here if we had more than 3 games, guys. But I'm kind of hoping these guys are out so we can get a few more Cam Thomas minutes. I do not expect him to start regardless, but coming off the bench, he had a 42% usage rate when he was out there, was making everything. OKC is obviously good on defense, but they're missing some key pieces here. Cam's a bucket. Way too cheap on both sides. Very low owned. I like him in tournaments. Kevin Porter Jr. has been outplaying Ryan Rollins. If Rollins is in, I would still rather get to Porter Jr. Really, really solid lately. Definitely worth paying up for, in my opinion, on DK. On FanDuel, it's more of a conversation, but we have so much value on this slate. He's so easy to get to. I don't mind the $9K price tag. Other than that, it is kind of tricky. I will say if Kuzma's out, Portis becomes a little bit more interesting. We were just joking before we went live. I think he's in the 3-point contest this year, so maybe he gets a few extra shots off. And then, yeah, man, if we do get Kuzma and Rollins out, Jericho Sims honestly looked great last night, as did Osmani Jang. They're giving these kids some extra run here, and it seems like it's worth it going into the break, obviously. I think this is a team that maybe does nurse the injuries. I'm kind of rambling here, man, but we only got 6 teams to go through. How do you feel about the Bucks here tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you. Cam Thomas, I really like here. I'm kind of playing this game to be potentially a blowout. So love Cam Thomas off the bench here. And then in terms of KPJ, I think he's kind of overowned. We have a lot of decent plays on this slate. So don't love KPJ. Would rather get to Cam Thomas. And then, the rest of the team here I think is all fine. I like the shot with Jericho Sims. I think he could be very good here with those guys potentially missing. So, yeah, it's Sims, it's Cam Thomas, and then probably lower on KPJ for me, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, Sims, I've never been a big Jericho Sims guy. I know Tibbs didn't really like him when he was with the Knicks. He was never really playing many minutes, even when he'd start with Cat out. But he does appear to be in a much better spot now with the Bucks. I mean, you can say the same about Thomas, but Sims yesterday, dude, 10.9% usage, still had 34 fantasy points, played 35 minutes, 11 boards. He's out there doing it all, and he doesn't really need the rock to get that score. He's still very cheap, so don't mind getting there. But again, not going to feel great about him unless we get word that Kuzma's out again. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, not as good of a matchup as yesterday, but Orlando's defense is pretty good as well. Enough about the Bucks, though. Let's go on over to the OKC Thunder here. SGA's out, Isaiah Hartenstein's out, AJ Mitchell, Thomas Sorber, Brandon Carlson. Jalen Williams, the good Jalen Williams, is out. Big news here, though. Former first-round draft pick Nikola Topic is back with the team. He did get one game in this year. Everyone was pumped that he would be back this season. 31 minutes, 26 fantasy points on October 5th. He has not played since. Re-injured himself. He's back here tonight. I don't know how many minutes he plays. It is a feel-good story they're going to bring. Very talented kid. Really just expands upon how good that OKC Thunder team is, that this is a guy at the end of their bench. But again, with SGA out and a few of the other big names, Chet here should see a lot of extra usage. He's very popular over on FanDuel. We haven't really seen the huge ceiling games out of him lately. I don't mind going there, though. Again, it's just very easy to afford whatever you want here tonight. Casey Wallace coming off a terrible game. It is a back-to-back for them, I think, as well, worth mentioning. I don't mind going there. I think he could bounce back. But Isaiah Joe off the bench outplayed him. He's very cheap. I mean, I like the value here more than I think I'm going to be paying up for Chet. Jayhawk, how do you feel about OKC?
Yeah, pretty much on the same wavelength here. Chet's, I think, fine both sides. I don't love the price point. I don't love the matchup. But he does see an increased usage. I'm with you. I love the value guys here. Jalen Williams, the worst Jalen Williams, Nick, with an eye here. Love him here on both sides. He's my favorite of the bunch. And then I think Aaron Wiggins looks really solid too. So those two I really like. And then I'm kind of lower on Isaiah Joe. Last time out, I liked him. I'm probably going to be off him a little bit. He seems pretty chalky. So lower on Joe. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just the value here I really like here for OKC.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, if Topic is taking minutes from anyone, it could be Isaiah Joe. They also did go out and add Jared McCain, a little bit of guard depth there. So while Joe did have a good game last night, I don't know that we could really rely on those minutes moving forward. Casey Wallace also, again, played terribly. I think he's going to get some good run here tonight. So pretty much with you, man. Again, I do like Jalen Williams. I think that's a pretty good shout. Nothing I'm really prioritizing, though. We got a lot of value on this slate. Let's check out the chat real quick. We also have Harold tuning in here. Appreciate you, my man. Rocket saying, get warmed up, J-Hack. The Jazz might need you tonight. Ready to watch the Lakers get blown out is Luke. And Osmani Jang revenge game. That's true, man. If you want to play the revenge narrative, they gave up on him. Probably because Topic actually came back. But yeah, all the more reason to play him. I will say this. He's so cheap you can do it. He played 22 minutes. I don't know that we could necessarily rely on another 22 for him here. But again, if Kuzma's out, why not? Again, it's tough to get different on a 3-game slate. Let's move into the next game here. Speaking of the Jazz, Portland Trailblazers taking on Utah in Utah, favored on the road, 234.5-point total. Arguably the biggest piece of news we're waiting on this slate is Denny. He's listed as questionable. Again, I mentioned earlier, we're going into the break. What does that mean for him? Could he just give it a go because there's rest coming up, or will they just rest him because it can be a longer rest? I don't know. There's different philosophies there depending on what they want to do. Robert Williams also questionable. Shady Sharp is out. That is notable. So if we do get Denny out, I mean, I don't know. It gets a little bit tricky because they did just get Scoot back. He's playing limited minutes. He's super inconsistent. Obviously, Kamara, you can never really trust him for offensive upside. Jeremy Grant's minutes have been all over the place. Drew never plays 30. It's like I want to like Portland here. This matchup's amazing, but it's really tough to key in on anyone specifically. I think for me, it's probably Klingon first and foremost, especially if Nurkic sits reasonably priced at center. I know we haven't seen the ceilings out of him, but his last 2 games came against the Timberwolves, obviously dealing with Gobert there. Prior to that, he had to deal with Embiid. So this is a much better matchup for him, a bounce back, in my opinion. I do like Klingon here a lot. And if a bunch of guys get ruled out, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to take a shot on any of this bench for Portland. Talking to some of these guys, Jayhawk, how do you feel about Portland here in Utah?
Yeah, very good spot, like you mentioned here for Portland. I think Klingon, I agree. I think he's a fantastic play here in tournaments. I love his ownership, love the upside there. And then Drew Holiday was kind of in that same boat for me, especially if we do get Denny limited or out here. So I love Drew Holiday, love Klingon, something like that. But yeah, and then I think Jeremy Grant, fine to mix in. I don't love him, but Drew Holiday, Klingon, and then Denny, I'm kind of just neutral on if he does play. I would rather get up to, obviously, LeBron in the late game. But yeah, pretty much just those two for the most part.
Yeah, if Denny does play, we are expecting limited minutes. I know the model has him for 30, but his last 2 games, he only played 26. I will say in one of those 2 games against Philly, he had 58 fantasy points in just 26 minutes. So if he's in there, he is upside, but I think we might be slightly overprojecting him right now with 31 minutes. He has not played 31 minutes since the 18th against Sacramento, but Let's take a look here at the Jazz. Obviously, they are tanking. Is it an ethical tank? That's a conversation for another day. Jaren Jackson Jr. out for the season now, getting knee surgery. Lauri Markkanen out. Walker Kessler and Keontae George out here as well. So really their four best players when you think about it. Nurkic isn't on the injury report, but we've already learned that Nurkic, for whatever reason, is never on the injury report. If he's not starting, don't play him. If he's not starting, Kyle Filipowski becomes one of the best plays on the slate. But if he is in there, he's fine to get to here against his former team. Again, if he's not starting, he's almost certain to be a DNP, though, so definitely keep an eye on that situation. Isaiah Collier had a few huge games with Keontae George out. He came back down to earth a little bit, but luckily so did his price. Now that he's back below 8K, I don't mind getting to him. Other than that, it is kind of tricky. I think Sensabaugh is probably the most appealing point per dollar. But like I said, if Nurkic is out, Filipowski would be the core play for me from Utah. Jayhawk, how do you feel about the Jazz?
Yeah, man, just kind of a tough team to kind of analyze here. Obviously, Collier, like you said, back down to earth with this price and also with the minutes here, playing a little bit less minutes here overall. So I think Collier is fine. I'm not like super bullish on him. The guy that I kind of like, Nick, here is Ace Bailey, 6K. He hasn't like flashed a ton of ceiling, but he's another young guy I think that could play a couple more minutes here. So give me Ace Bailey, some Sensabaugh, and then probably be neutral here on Collier.
Yeah, I'm with you. And yeah, I'm neutral on Collier because he's not playing 48 minutes anymore. When they went out and got Vince Williams, he's playing some backup point. But yeah, I like the Ace Bailey call. I think he did just get a nod onto the futures game too for someone that's hurt. But good for him. I mean, he's dealt with a lot of media crap. A very highly regarded player for years. A bit of a disappointment in general, but upside's still there. And we're playing a different game. We're playing fantasy, and this is a guy who likes to shoot the basketball. So I'm with you there. But again, everyone, keep an eye on that starting lineup. If Nurkic is out, do not play him. Play a lot of Filipowski. That's my advice there. Taking another look at chat here. Drew Holiday, if Denny out. Yeah, we tend to agree, Andrew. I know Jayhawk mentioned he likes him a lot. The one thing, though, it's not like he's ever going to see more than 30 minutes with this team, I don't think, unless it was a super competitive game and he goes to OT. It is such a good matchup that he can get there in just the 28 we have him projected for, but I don't think there's like a huge boost with Denny off the floor. It is going to boost his rate slightly, but the minutes are going to be pretty much where they're at. The Jazz might F around and win this game by accident again. I hope so as a Nets fan, man, especially if Sensabaugh's feeling it. Don't know from Jose here saying he likes LeBron and Reeves combo, or are you tripping? I don't think you're tripping, man. I'm about to talk about that game. I think both are popular. Just Fishless saying have faith, Luke. And yeah, Javier, this is hilarious. Anyone from point guard, small forward, to power forward in DraftKings. Yeah, of all the players in the league, I mean, Cooper Flag, they give every position to. He's like point guard, shooting guard, power forward. It's kind of hilarious. But, dude, Denny has been every position, I think, on DraftKings. It's pretty ridiculous. I don't know. Where do you think he should be if you were making the salaries and rosters? What position would you put Denny at?
Man, I'd probably put him at point guard just because he kind of facilitates a lot. But you could easily throw him at small forward, too. So I'd probably where they have him at.
Yeah, and again, I ask you, it's a loaded question, man. It's like positionless NBA in 2026. We always talk about it. Nikki Diamonds here asking, are we interested at all in Blake Wesley? And yeah, he's off the injury report. He's usually a name I say every single Blazers slate. He looked okay in his first few games back. Not enough upside for me, though. I think we have enough value elsewhere, Jayhawk. Any interest in Blake Wesley?
Yeah, not on my radar just so far, but I don't know. If you really want him to get... Actually, I'm just going to say I'm not interested in him. I'll just put that.
Yeah, it would take a lot more guys being ruled out for me to get there. Again, they went out and got Vic Krejci. Scoot just came back. They still want to give minutes to Sissoko. So I think Wesley's kind of buried on the depth chart right now. It would take a few more names being ruled out to want to get to any of him. Let's see here. A lot of Lakers talk. Appreciate you guys being here as always. But yeah, let's go into this third game now. And guys, at the end, we are going to kind of recap. We'll give dummy build on both sides, kind of talk through our favorite plays, a little bit of strategy there. But plenty of time, still a half hour. If you guys have any questions about any player on the slate, any game, feel free to get them in. Again, last slate before the All-Star break. Put your chips on the table here. Not the best slate, but hey, why not? You're going to be saving money, hopefully, over the next few weeks. Last game on the slate, we got the Mavericks taking on the Lakers, 235.5-point total. Lakers favored here at home. Dallas, first and foremost, no Cooper Flag. I don't even think he's hurt, honestly. I think they're just kind of resting him going into the break. Probably smart. Kyrie Irving, obviously, out. No Derek Lively, Miles Kelly, Musa Sisse. Najee Marshall, probable. That is significant. No Caleb Martin or Ryan Nembhard, though. Tyus Jones, Jason Kidd, for whatever reason, wants to start him now. Not really interested at all. I do think if you want to get the Brandon Williams off the bench, it's not terrible. But at the same time, the minutes are kind of in flux now with Jones back there in that rotation. D'Lo was on the team, but he completely fell out of the rotation before they let him go. So Jones, I think, could cut into Williams slightly. My favorite play here is Najee Marshall. I know I just mentioned him in the injury report. He is listed as probable, though. Just underpriced on DK, in my opinion. The usage has been there for him, 25% plus in 2 of his last 3. Those were games with Cooper Flag on the floor, I believe. So I really like Najee. Historically, PJ Washington's outplayed him, but this year, I think Najee's kind of taken a step forward. It feels like Washington may be taking a step back. So, again, I think you could play either, but definitely prefer Najee of the two. The center situation's tough. They went out and got Bagley. He's cutting into Gafford's upside a little bit. And then we have guys like Middleton Thompson on the bench. I will say Max Christie at the 2 is fine. If he gets hot from 3, he definitely has a ceiling. I'd actually rank him ahead of PJ. My favorite and really only Maverick I'm keying in on here, though, Jayhawk, is Najee Marshall. How do you feel about Dallas here on the road?
Yep, I think Najee looks great, man. Historically, he's been pretty good against the Lakers as well. So good usage rate. Love Najee here. And then Marvin Bagley, I like him as a player, but I don't love the ownership here. 43% does seem a little bit too high to me. So I think Bagley's slightly overowned on DK. And then I love B-Will as well off the bench. I prefer him to Bagley. So love Brandon Williams, love Marshall, and then lower on Bagley.
Yep, I'm with you. And again, with no flag, everyone should see a bit of a boost, but it's really tough to know where that usage goes. A lot of inconsistent players in this rotation. All right, Lakers now. No DeAndre Ayton, no Luka Doncic. Both of those are obviously starters, significant injury pieces. Sorry, reading as I'm talking. But yeah, they're getting Marcus Smart back tonight. I actually think he's a pretty good value play here. Kind of shocked he's not more popular if we're looking at ownership. We have him for 30 minutes. Against OKC, he had 33 fantasy points in 29 minutes. He's affordable. He has forward eligibility on both sides for whatever reason. Marcus Smart, one of my favorite tournament plays tonight. I think he's very, very useful, especially if you're looking to build around him, pay up at other positions. LeBron looks good here. One of the top OF index plays on today's slate, again, without Luka. Also, keep in mind, Austin Reeves has been coming off the bench. He's probably still playing somewhat limited minutes. Played 28 against OKC. We have him for 30. Again, I want to be conservative here. I think he could play 30 maybe, but even if he doesn't, he's cheap enough that he does have a ceiling. But knowing LeBron is the safer option with his minutes, knowing Marcus Smart's coming back in the lineup, I will say Reeves isn't the priority to me in his ownership that LeBron is. I do like both. Someone asked if you could play them both in the lineup. I'd say certainly. Again, there's not much to pay up for on this slate. Rui looks okay. Dunk contestant. Jackson Hayes likely starting at center for 8 in here. I really don't have any interest in him, if I'm being honest. But again, I think LeBron's a core play on both sides. I think it's the first time I've said that all year. I do like Austin Reeves with or without LeBron in the lineup. And Marcus Smart to me, man, one of the best tournament plays on today's slate. How do you feel about the Lakers here?
Yeah, just right with you here. I think LeBron, fantastic play here. Even at his old age, I think he looks great tonight with no Luka Doncic. And then Austin Reeves, I think he's properly owned. He may be a little bit over-owned, but should have a very good usage rate when he's on the court here. So pretty happy with Austin Reeves, like him in this matchup. And then Marcus Smart, I don't hate that call at all, man. He's cheap. Could be a pivot off of some other guards here. And then, yeah, Jackson Hayes, kind of just rooting on him for the dunk contest. Don't know if I will get to him tonight for DFS, though. So to me, it's the two studs, Reeves and LeBron here. That's about it. Maybe some Smart.
Yeah, totally with you, man. And one more point on Reeves and playing him with LeBron. Even with the limited minutes, most of the minutes that LeBron is off the floor Reeves will be on the floor. So again, both these guys have plenty of upside. Reeves, 30% plus usage in each of his last 3 games played, or even going further back than that, 4 games played. So yeah, really like the Lakers here. Again, 3-game slate though. They're both very popular. You got to get a little bit different. Maybe just including Marcus Smart in that game stack is a way to do it. So yeah, let's check out the chat, guys. Any questions? Happy to get to them. Appreciate you, Spaniard. We got a bunch of Nicks here. We got myself, Nicky Diamonds. We got Nick, a.k.a. DFS Jayhawk here as well. Appreciate all the Knicks here. Not the New York Knicks, who did go out and get Jeremy Sochan today. Pretty interesting ad. I actually like that for them. Yeah, first game, such low total. Is it viable to fade? It is, but I don't want you to over-account for the total because you got to keep in mind the Bucks are without a lot of key pieces, as are the Thunder. So there's still some value there. I'd say if there's a game on this slate, I'm fading it'd be that one, but I don't know. There's still a lot of cheap plays there. Are there any like core options for you, Jayhawk, in that first game, Milwaukee Thunder, and how do you feel about fading it?
Yeah, I don't know. Since it's a 3-game slate, it's harder to full fade a game. I think the value is more likely to get there in that total. So I'll say the value plays we like from OKC are my favorites.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good take. Rocket saying his favorite play is Bagley, point per minute monster. Yeah, I can see it, man. I don't know. I think at his ownership, that's the only thing holding me back. If he was lower owned, I'd have a lot more interest. Nurkic due for another honorary post-lock benching. Again, just look at the lineup. It will be post-start of the game. But yeah, if he's not in that starting lineup, do not play Yusuf Nurkic. Brandon Williams starter. No, he almost always comes off the bench. Andrew Nolan, they also went out and got Tyus Jones. And with flag out, maybe I would have said Williams would get the start here, but I do think kid's going to lean on the vet, Tyus Jones, a little longer. Reeves or KPJ? If Rollins is out, KPJ. If Rollins is in, Reeves. Jayhawk, how do you feel about that one?
I'm going to go Reeves either way because I just like the total and match a little bit more for AR-15 here.
Hey, I feel you. Good evening, all. Unicorn, appreciate you. Marshall or Wallace? It's Marshall for me. He does more. Casey Wallace showed you what his floor looks like last night, obviously. He's been playing good with SGA out, but I don't know how much I trust him. I do trust Najee to get a few boards, fall into a stock or two. So how do you feel about that one, Jayhawk, Marshall versus Wallace?
I'd probably say Najee, yeah. I think he's a really good play today, so I'll say Najee there.
Yeah, similar question here from Jose. Wiggins or Marshall? It's still Marshall for me. Wiggins not a bad play, but
yeah, I'd probably say Najee. I think that one's pretty close to me, but I'll lean Najee, yeah.
Yep, Nick's catching strays. KPJ or Reeves? Yeah, we already answered this one. Jayhawk likes Reeves either way. I said if Rollins is out, I think KPJ, but I think you could go with both or either. Unicorn's voting for KPJ. Shoots as much as Brooks and Phoenix. Reeves and KPJ. Yeah, Terry taking the road less travel, which is actually taking both roads. Yeah, Funky 40, if you want to run the video back to the beginning, I pretty much wrote a song and sang it about Cam Thomas. Not literally, but I'm a diehard Nets fan. Very sad to see him go. I think it's a good spot for him here, though. Again, just coming off the bench, seeing ridiculous usage, over 40% last night. He'll be shooting. Not as easy of a matchup. Not that Orlando's an easy matchup, though. And again, if Rollins and Kuzma are out, he's an excellent play. I think he's under-owned either way, though. So definitely with you on Cam Thomas. Still no news, right, Jayhawk, from the Bucks? I would obviously want to update everyone here if that were the case, but I don't think we have it.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of guys I did want to ask you about, Nick. 2 guys, Vince Williams and then TikTok legend Jared McCain here. Did you have a take on, I know we didn't cover those on either of those 2 guys there.
Yeah, if I do a TikTok dance, I'd do it right now. I don't, though. But yeah, McCain, I don't know, man. I think he's buried on this bench. And like I said, I'm more excited about Nikola Topic. Like, I don't think I'm going to play him tonight, but that guard rotation is kind of crowded now. Dort was out last game too, I believe, which kind of created some minutes for some of these guys. I know McCain got some run, but yeah, I don't necessarily think I get there tonight.
Yeah, and then
who's the other one?
Vince Williams.
Vince. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing Vince Williams is doing to me is cutting into Collier. He's okay. I just don't know what the minutes are going to look like. He played 21 last game. I think they could give him more run. It's interesting. Memphis never seemed to want to extend him beyond like 26, but I don't know if that's like due to actual conditioning or just Memphis being Memphis and limiting everyone's minutes. So I would say I do prefer Williams over our boy McCain, but I'm not crazy about it. I really. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Vince Williams, if he gets more run, I think he's a little bit better than McCain. So I'm with you.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, McCain, pretty scoring dependent. He can score, but more so than Vince. What else we got going here? Yeah, Nikki, he said it. 200 plus watching, less than 30 likes. Get the likes going, guys. Really helps us. And again, this is free content for you. We want to keep doing this every single day of the week, weekends as well. In order to do that, we just need to show the bosses here that you guys are supporting us. Jones on Dallas, 3,900 on FanDuel. Which Jones? There's so many Joneses. Which Jones are we talking? Oh, Tyus? No. Sorry. I don't mean to laugh. Tyus Jones, better defender than I think people give him credit for. Back in the day, he'd be a stock machine, but he just does nothing on offense anymore except miss 2 or 3 threes a game. I have no interest in Tyus Jones, even as a starter, Jayhawk. How about you?
Yeah, he seems just kind of like a rotation piece. I don't think he's a good enough play to get into a DFS lineups in it.
Yeah, he's slowed down a step this year. It's unfortunate because he had some big games for Memphis last year, but that is a no. Is Denny playing? Still to be determined. Is Chet playing big minutes? I don't know about big minutes. I think he plays pretty normal minutes, probably 32 to 34. I don't know that they need him out there more than that to win the game. But yeah, Jayhawk, any hot takes on his minutes? Phoenix, he only played 20. I think that game was a blowout, though. He's been over 30 for the most part otherwise.
Yeah, he should play his, I think, normal rotation barring blowout. So, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, if you want to play Chet, feel free. And yeah, that's Tyus Jones. We had Cam Jones yesterday for the Pacers, but no, we're back to Tyus. Let's see here. Still getting questions in. Don't mind it, guys. Again, we're about to do these dummy builds. Underdog not posting much except for Isaiah Joe propaganda. Take that for what it's worth. And yeah, let's one more question here, I think. Do we know if Collier's starting? I'd say almost certainly is. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Deuce, Jericho Sims. If Kuzma's out, yeah. He did look great last night. Will Conchar get more minutes tonight, do you think, with marketing out? Conchar's not really someone I had on my radar. Jayhawk, how about you?
Yeah, I wasn't really looking into Conchar here. Yeah, I didn't really love him, so I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah, if he were to somehow start, maybe, but he's not really playing a ton of minutes. 15 against Miami, 19 against Sacramento. And Laurie, in or out, they've been resting a lot of guys. Javier, game stacking. Yeah, it's on these 3-game slates. If 2 games are duds and one goes to OT, just leading into one game. Never know which one it's going to be. Could be the difference. Best OKC play, that is, I think, Jalen Williams for me. Jayhawk, how about you?
Yeah, Jalen Williams, I think, is my favorite.
Yeah, or Chet. I mean, if you want to, Chet would be, honestly, ahead of Jalen Williams, but you're paying a premium for it. Cody Williams and Bailey for Deuce on the Jazz. Appreciate you guys as always. Again, plenty of time today to get to all the questions and comments if you want to keep them coming, but let's do some dummy builds. First, we got DK here. And again, salary's not really an issue, in my opinion. There's not a ton we're paying up for. Where do we want to start?
Man, this is tough because I kind of want to start with the value, Nick, and fill in from there. Value plus LeBron. Let's go Jalen Williams, and let's throw in LeBron, and then let's see where that leaves us.
All right. Yeah, I'm with it. Yeah, Jalen just too cheap. What else we got going here? Let me get LeBron in. Power forward only. Are both these guys power forward only? That's kind of funny. That's where we started. But yeah, I do like both of them a lot. Obviously, you could put LeBron in that forward spot too. So want to do that. Let's see. We go by position, I guess. I mean, I like Porter. We have Reeves. It's a pretty obvious play. If we're going value, I don't know that there's a ton. I like Cam Thomas. Not that he's a real point guard, but
I like it. He's low owned, and I kind of like the value overall from that game, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, if there's, again, I'm going to feel better about this if we get where the Kuz is out. Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Cam, but first I want to, where's Marcus Smart? Oh, he is small forward. I like that a lot. I know I'm kind of on an island here, but the minutes are going to be there for him. After LeBron and Reeves, it's going to be Smart handling the ball, and he's going to be on the floor with the both of them. Who else do we want here?
I kind of like.
Wallace is out. Did we just get that news?
Yeah, he just got rolled out 1 minute ago.
Yeah, so that helps Cam in a big way.
Yeah.
And that also helps KPJ in a big way. Honestly, I know we've been kind of going back and forth on who do we prefer, Reeves or KPJ. I've been kind of leaning KPJ. You've been on Reeves. Why don't we just play both?
Okay, I'm cool with that.
That makes that easy. Saves us a minute or two as well. And yeah, man, like we got a nice balanced build going here. We have nothing below 4,300. Still 5,900 per player. We need a center. Who do you like at center?
Yeah, I was gonna mention. I think Clingan's pretty good for value. There's Bagley. I don't love that. Filipowski if Nurkic misses.
Yeah, I think this is the plan. You play Klingon, and if Nurkic is out, I would pivot to Filipowski and try to upgrade something. Probably something we're going to land up with here at utility of 4,600. But yeah, Klingon looks excellent. I mean, this gets a little dicey. Bagley, we're getting a lot of Bagley love. I don't think it's crazy. Again, if Kuz is out, you can maybe go to Jericho Sims. You're taking a risk here. And again, if we get word that Nurkic is out, you pivot to Filipowski. You upgrade whoever we slide in here at utility. Is there someone in this range you really like, Jayhawk? I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at Bagley or Joe probably.
Yeah, it would be Bagley or Joe. I don't necessarily love either one. I don't know. It's tough.
I'll just go with Bagley. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
That's the late game too. So if we did get some weird news, you're able to pivot. Let's hop over to FanDuel real quick. I mean, we still start with LeBron, I think.
Yeah.
We can go Porter, Reeves. I mean, again, I'm fine going back to Cam Thomas. Throw some names at me.
Let's go. Let's see. FanDuel. What's Clingan's price over here? I don't love the price. Let's go at Jalen Williams again. I like him at 4,500 if we can put him in.
Center, let's go Chet.
Okay. I like it.
Why not? I mean, Clingan looks good too, but I don't know. I kind of want some Chet exposure. 6,900 per. We should have probably played Marshall over on DK. I will say I liked him better over there. He's 6,900 over here. He's playable. I don't know if I don't want to force that. We need a shooting guard, small forward, power forward, kind of value-ish range if you got anyone. You said Ace Bailey earlier. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, I think Ace is fine. We can.
Yeah, let's go Ace. And Marcus Smart, dude. 4,800 with small forward eligibility. I mean,
There you go.
I've never been a Marcus Smart fan, but I think it's tough not to like him at that price. And I don't know, Jeremy Grant. Let's check the game logs. I would love to play more Jeremy Grant, but the minutes are always kind of all over the place, pretty inconsistent. I don't hate it in the matchup. Is there anyone else in this range you prefer? I think we might be able to move LeBron down with power forward too. See what we have.
Yeah, I think Wiggins is fine as well for, was he 5,600?
Yeah, Wiggins is terrible. Yeah, Wiggins or Grant, I think is probably where we're going. Or if you want to upgrade elsewhere, Sensabaugh's not crazy. But yeah, we'll go Wiggins. You mentioned it. All right. I think that's about all. Kuzma's in, guys. So what does this mean? You can still play Porter. You can still play Thomas. I'm not crazy about Kuzma, but he is viable. Probably takes Bobby Portis out of my player pool. Makes me a little bit leery about playing someone like Jericho Sims or Osmani Dang, so keep that in mind. But yeah, point by Deuce. Yeah, his minutes have been down with Vince Williams now in their rotation. MPJ Jr., Jam, Jericho, Sims stack. I mean, Sims is a little risky now with Kuzma in, I will say, but I don't mind it. Yes, sir. Doug's still going to Jang. Let me get your hot takes there on that front court, Jayhawk. Are you interested in this value? We got Sims, we got Jang, but now that Kuzma's in, I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah, that's difficult. I would probably prefer Sims if I had to pick one, but yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yep. Porter and KMT viable, same lineup with Rollins out. Yes, for sure. I'll give this one to you, Jayhawk. Any love for Kenrich tonight?
Yeah, he was interesting. We didn't really touch on him. I don't love the price point, but if you want to mix him in over like Jalen Williams, I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, he'll be in the rotation. We have him for 21 minutes. You can mix him in. Kuz is in. Hard to pick any Portland guys with Denny questionable. Totally agree. Appreciate you, Power. Guys, have a great break. We will be back, obviously, when the break's over. Favorite center play on FanDuel? I think it's Klingon for me. Chet close behind. Jayhawk, how about you?
Yeah, I was going to say Klingon and then, probably Klingon. I think Bagley down low is kind of cheap if you want to go like a true center over there. But yeah, it's probably Klingon.
Shane asking if Jamel's a lock on FanDuel. I'd say no, just because he gets in foul trouble a lot. He's a really good play, though. If you're playing cash games or single entry, I think you should have him. Jayhawk, would you be locking in Jalen? I don't know. The foul trouble would probably keep me a little above the field, but not quite locking.
Yeah, not a lock, but I do really like him both sides here.
Love it. Swerve, you're late, my man. Run it back. Appreciate you guys as always. Have a great All-Star break. Enjoy the slate tonight. Let's crush it. And check out the links in the description below. Get behind that paywall when we come back. Get access to the model. We got, I think, Smitty going live in Discord in about a half an hour, taking you up until lock. A lot of other sports going on out right now. MLB around the corner. UFC. Swerve. But yeah, guys, like the video. Subscribe on your way out. Appreciate you. Follow us on Twitter. All that good stuff.